From the state of New York, this is the Syracuse Thunderbolt Classic, brought to you by Champion, makers of Copper Plus, America's best spark plug. Syracuse, New York, June 1985. The Miller American was making a test run when suddenly its turbine engine exploded. Driver Chip Hanauer was fine, but the boat suffered serious damage and the team was out of the race. Incredibly, yesterday, here in 1986, history repeated itself. The engine aboard the Miller American blew again, virtually at the same spot on the course. It marked the 4th time in 3 years the team has lost an engine due to an explosion in the hot section of the turbine. After the team assessed the damage, Chip Hanauer talked with us. Chip, you've had enough time now to assess the damage, and the crew has had time to look at it. Where would you rate it with the other times when this has occurred?
On a scale of 1 to 5, I'd say this is about a 3, and we've had 5s before, so we can recover from this.
This means an all-night job, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're rigging generators and lights right now and getting some plastic ready in case we have rain tonight, so it's going to be a long night.
What about the framework of the boat, the guts inside? Is there any damage there?
Yeah, a couple of the frames, which are part of the skeleton of the boat, they took some hits, and that's what they're going to have to go into, cut away the damage and put in a new piece. Much like somebody putting a steel plate when you break your leg is what has to happen.
The Miller team spent all night repairing the hull. Framing inside had to be replaced. Holes in the bottom of the boat were patched, and portions of the decking were refiberglassed. A 4-day job done in incredibly 18 hours. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Poyer, and welcome to Syracuse, New York, here on Onondaga Lake on a beautiful summer day. We got a tired bunch behind us here on the Miller crew, and Jim Hendrick is with crew chief John Walters.
Right now, John, you just have to be exhausted.
Boy, we really are. You know, all the guys on the Miller American team last night, we ended up, you know, breaking a motor real hard, and it basically sawed the boat in half. And it was an all-nighter. Everybody, you know, pitched in, pulled real hard, and you know, we're about half an hour away here from throwing the Miller American in the water for the first heat, and hopefully it'll all pay off for us.
Whole day of racing, is the boat as good as when before it was broke?
Well, structurally, it's as good as it was before it broke. Cosmetically, no, it's kind of ugly right now, but I guess if it gets to the checkered flag first, it won't matter so much.
Thank you, John.
You're very welcome.
This man right here won the very first, well, the second race that was ever held in this part of the state of New York in the Pan Pac turbine. The first turbine victor ever was John Walters, the crew chief of Miller American. Now let's check Heat 1A. The Miss 711 turbine running the best I've seen it all year, with Steve Reynolds in the cockpit, checked in at 136.003. The Miss Budweiser turbine, Jim Kropfeld, also running well on Lake Onondaga, 136.080. And the fastest boat in the fleet this week in qualifying, a world record for a 2-mile course, Chip Hanauer, the Miller American, at 141.343. So there you have the field for Heat 1A. The 3 turbines going head-to-head for the first time in preliminary action since the early part of the year. Now for Heat 1B, here's Don.
Well, Jim, you've got the turbines in Heat 1A. I've got 3 boats, all from the state of Indiana, in Heat 1B. We're calling it the Hoosier Heat. And here they are. First of all, the U-15, driven by Jack Shafer, the veteran driver, qualifying at 107.94. Next, the U-22, Todd Yarling, out of Hanauer, Indiana, qualifying at 111.57. And the U-6, the HOLSET Miss MADISON, with Ron Snyder in the cockpit, qualifying at 113.87 miles per hour. In a sense, we have a couple of dream heats. We've got the turbine heat and the Hoosier Heat. We'll see what happens in just a minute. We'll return to Onondaga Lake right after this.